Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Macemaker and this is a brand new challenge on Paralives Early Access. I'm attending this one by Joromith. I hope I'm pronouncing your nickname properly. On screen I'm showing the message from the official Discord thread and the Steam Workshop too, in case you want to try it yourself. Of course, I link them below along with this building too. So as you can see, I already started a little bit with the building, mostly because I wanted to roof it without the pressure of the cameras. I knew it would be difficult and yeah, I decided to make it seem, let's say, ugly but realistic, I think, question mark. On the other hand, I put some columns, fences, privacy bushes, windows, doors. The only walls I've added so far are the two that are unpainted. I always paint the shell with some color to differentiate them from the ones I add myself later, in order not to erase one of the originals. But yeah, this is the starting point. As soon as I saw it in the official Discord thread, I fell in love because it's too cute. I visualized a floor plan for one parafolk, but when I downloaded the lot, I realized I had underestimated the size of the building. I thought it was a tiny home, and it turned out to be quite a bit bigger, so I decided to have two paras living together and make their bedrooms and backyards the most personalized part of the building. The common spaces have a lot of personality too, but they are a mix of both styles, and I will let you judge how well these two mix together, because I think it was not an entirely happy marriage there. Of course, first of all, I defined who's living here, so I came up with these two roomies. These girls are not friends at all. I think they barely tolerate each other, but they are living together to save some money. As the shell is a fox, I based their personalities and styles on things related to how foxes are portrayed in different cultures, times, and stories. So, the first one, and my personal favorite, is this girl in her mid-20s. She's kinda sus, I won't lie. She likes to make other people's possessions her own, if you catch my drift here. So she embodies one of the oldest meanings of the fox across European folklore. That's survival through wit rather than strength. She does what she needs to do to keep herself going. A little bit of robbery, a little bit of escorting wealthy guys on lonely nights. Hey, now that I think about it, other than a fox, she might make an interesting Black Widow. But yeah, like the fox in the stories of Aesop of Reynard, she almost never confronts a problem directly. She prefers misdirection, seduction, carefully calculated deception. I imagine her quite flirty, gossipy, almost bubbly, but sharp, and a little bit dark beneath the surface. I was also inspired by the East Asian kitsune tradition, where the fox becomes an elegant shapeshifter whose greatest weapon is the ability to read people, assume different identities, and exploit desire. She learned refinement not through privilege but through plain necessity here. So luxury is something that she surely enjoys, but has learned to perform rather than inherit. She's a mix of expensive perfume, full furs with counterfeit jewelry, to a, dare I say, tacky point. The crimson velvet, the animal print, and oh my god, the fake gold were killing me here. She knows all about both abandoned buildings in the neighborhood and exclusive cocktail bars with equal familiarity. I reckon she's the kind of girl who has already planned an emergency exit before entering a room, just in case, the police or someone else, even worse, is coming after her. I imagine she might have a tendency towards putting white things up her nose. Makeup to avoid the excessive shyness from sweating, sure. I think that would fit the archetype as another form of risk-taking, impulsivity, and temporary escape. And yeah, she doesn't have a drinking problem. We have to paraphrase that and think that she has a drinking opportunity. But in a nutshell, she's a chaotic girl with the sole purpose of surviving and living in as much luxury as she can. Aesthetic-wise, her contributions to this apartment would be aspirational but low budget. I'm talking about plush faux furs, glossy gold accents, crimson velvet, oversized mirrors, everything displayed theatrically. I wanted her to have her own walk-in closet with some imitation handbags, but I didn't find a good one yet, so it was a little bit more demure than I was expecting, but I purposely put some suitcases hidden all over the house if she has to escape in a hurry. Low-key, I ended loving her. She's fascinated by glamour, but she doesn't have the budget nor the refined taste to fully achieve it. As a part of the color palette, as you may see, she's all about dark woods, worn leather, tobacco browns, and dim light to represent the fact that she's being protected by that rather literally obscure atmosphere. And I put both curtains and blinds because she needs privacy to be comfortable. I wanted her space to feel like a safe house disguised as a luxury apartment. On almost the opposite end of the spectrum, we have her roomie. I reckon this one is the older one, perhaps in her late 20s, almost 30. She works as an astrologer. She has been living in this city for a long time, but she doesn't have a well-paid job, so she is always in need of someone else to live with and split expenses. She thought having this girl as a roomie was a good idea, but now she's counting the days until they split up, because she knows the other one is shady and she would like to have nothing to do with her messy lifestyle. This second girl represents a different branch of fox symbolism, closer to the wise supernatural fox. For example, taking the kitsune again, it also refers to accumulated knowledge and liminality, so she navigates symbolic systems like astrology, tarot, folklore, mythology, herbal traditions, even astronomy and meditation. She's between science and myth, a bit of history, lots of intuition, mostly in solitude but looking for her community. Like foxes in many northern traditions, she prefers observing to participating. I think she rarely explains herself completely, allowing silence to speak for her, and whatever the other person understands, that's fine by her. Her life resembles that of a hermit or forest witch without becoming antisocial. She values peace and she has deliberately constructed it, and that's part of her problem with her new roomie, who's always shaking things up a little too much. So, her style favors natural materials like linen and unfinished woods, clay pottery, countless houseplants, stacks of books, candles, witchy trinkets. I used a few pieces of Ruto's celestial clutter and wall decor available on the Steam workshop. Her colors lean towards pistachio green, muted terracotta, soft rust olive greens, and muted rose, I think, cozy and earthy. One of her special places is certainly her dedicated yoga area, but she also loves her reading corner with warm light, and of course, she keeps a small table for two in her bedroom, both for work and for close friends to come over, have some tea, and talk about meaningful things. She even has an extra table outside to sit there if the weather is good, and to spend a minute contemplating nature after working in her medicinal garden. For the common spaces, I tried to mix a little bit of both styles, so neither of them would be really happy. Let's say that the diva fallen from grace look and the cozy cookie witchy one don't marry that well in practice. But I really liked making two different bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms. Well, to be fair, one of the bathrooms is for the whole apartment, but that bedroom is the biggest, so I think it's fair trade. I completely forgot about soap and toothbrushes in that bathroom, and we are totally okay with it. She just happens to be such a neat freak that she has everything properly stored away from outside, and that's the real story there. By now, we already gone through the kitchen and the living room. Each of these two girls picked a sofa, a side table, and a lamp, but they mixed everything together so the clash of styles wouldn't feel too abrupt. They also decided to hang paintings with fairly different styles. The younger one chose the tiger with roses and the martini above the drinks bar, while the astrologer picked the back of a tarot card and a cup of tea above the breakfast nook, and some flowers showers for the main bathroom. For the laundry room, I was originally thinking of making a pantry, but this felt more interesting instead, a mix between a laundry room and storage space, with everything ready to grab and run if necessary. It didn't feel like the most inspiring room, though. I think I'll challenge myself to make aesthetic laundry rooms, or at least give them a bit more personality, and see what happens. By the way, a lot of that content is also CC from the Steam workshop, just like almost all the full-length mirrors I'll be using in this build. In the small shared backyard, I place a wheelbarrow because the astrologer enjoys gardening. Yeah, that's definitely the only reason here. Absolutely nothing suspicious going on there. But anyway, the little table and the barbecue for summer cookouts look really nice, don't they? Now, in the entrance hall, I like the idea of having several bookcases. In fact, I filled the middle ones by hand so they wouldn't look so repetitive. Oh, and I just couldn't resist putting that plaid texture on the ottoman. I know it isn't exactly either of their styles, but I loved it. It was so much fun decorating with Gucci, Dior, and Vogue images. Honestly, the ability to customize painting rugs and other objects is such a boost to creativity. In the younger girl's bedroom, the Rococo-style bed gives the room a very needed stately feel. I really have to give a canopy beds another chance. I thought they weren't possible, but then I saw several videos where people made them look amazing, so I definitely need to try it again. I wanted to use a few IKEA pieces to show that furniture and luxury aren't really what they seem. Now, about the walk-in closet, I apologize for the loud colors there. Giving me access to a texture and color wheel was never a good idea. I did warn you all. This walk-in closet has no windows on purpose, to keep the sunlight from fading the clothes, obviously, and of course, for privacy. And that's my reasoning behind not putting a single window in a room. But I put a ring between some clothes. Maybe this girl just got a marriage proposal from some wealthy silver fox, a salt and pepper daddy, or maybe it's someone else's ring that innocently found its way into her purse and now she's just waiting for the right moment to sell it without raising any suspicion. Oh, and the cowboy hats. Yeah, this girl really enjoys playing those kind of characters, exploring aesthetics that feel straight out of weird movies and living out those fantasies of having many different lives in one. I added a good amount of cosmetic and beauty products because this girl takes very good care of her appearance. I also hid what looks like a few Polaroids. I like the idea that she's hiding more sensitive memories from her past, or maybe they are incriminating evidence against someone else, just in case she ever needs it. I don't know. Both ideas feel very true to the character, keeping memories she wishes she could leave behind but she can't, or preparing herself for the possibility of blackmailing someone if she ever has to. I absolutely love the walk-in closet wallpaper. It has such an extravagant Art Deco feel. Although I also really like the bedroom wallpaper too, which feels much more stately, I must say. I tried to keep the armchair next to the bathroom door, but it wasn't a very good use of the space, so I will be moving it somewhere else later. The more I describe them, the more I want to make them in Paramaker and let them live in the custom neighborhood I'm planning to build someday. I'm definitely not running out of projects here. Time, on the other hand, yikes. By the way, I'm slowly working on a custom neighborhood just to get more familiar with the tools. The original idea was to play it like a Build a City challenge style in private, mostly because I don't know how much gameplay the early access version will have, and I'd rather spend my time building and working on Paralives meets the Tarot with the tutorial wagon families instead. But I can show you the neighborhood's progress from time to time if you are interested. Let me know in the comments. I love that it had mannequins too. I think this girl really enjoys dressing up in unexpected ways, partially to stay incognito, partially to roleplay, and partially just for the fantasy of it all. It fits perfectly with the kitsune's ship shading concept. This build made me realize I desperately need more animal print rugs. This is an emergency request. I'm gathering signatures in the comment section. I'll appreciate your participation on this noble cause. Thank you very, very much. One of my ideas was to give her a vanity, but I replaced it with the dresser and another mirror instead. Oh, and I was looking for video cameras to point very innocently at the bed. You know, for sleepover style vlogging and girly chit chat, sure. Totally just for that and not for only pies. But I only found this vintage camera and honestly it gives the room a really nice romantic touch. While I was furnishing, I also found this painting of Emma Hart as Circe, which I think perfectly brings together one girl's fascination with glamorous old movie stars and the other one's love for witchy and supernatural things. Hey, turned out they did have something in common after all. I wanted a high contrast bathroom for her, with a bathtub ready for bubble baths, champagne and scented candles, but at the same time the cheapest toothpaste and shampoo possible. A little patio to sunbathe and enjoy another glass of nectar. This girl loves having a tan all year round and avoid hangover by drinking a little more. I may have forgotten to place the ceiling lights, but at some point I remembered. Kudos for me. Yay! Now, about the bedroom wallpaper for the other girl, yeah, that was a choice, I'll give you that. I tried covering the whole room with it, but it was too much even for me, so I copied the color and made part of the wall plain instead. I absolutely love this second character, and I relate to her much more, but I don't know, I think her style is a little too predictable for me. It fits a bit too well with what we already know about the game, which isn't a bad thing, but If I had to do a let's play with just one of them, the other girl would definitely be my main character. In fact, if there were gameplay for witchcraft, I'd probably play them as if the second girl were studying and living this thoughtful, dedicated life trying to master magic, when in reality she has no powers because magic is innate. And then, plot twist, the one who couldn't care less about spirituality and using those mysterious forces responsibly turns out to be the actual witch, using her powers for much more frivolous things or whenever she is in danger during one of her criminal activities. That would be so much fun. Now, part of me wants to rewatch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but specifically the season where she moves in with roommates, either that or Charmed, but I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to watching all 180 episodes. What's your favorite TV show and why is it Gilmore Girls? Let me know in the comments. Here, Team Paris, of course. But anyway, oh my goodness, a bedroom where you can sleep comfortably, have a yoga and meditation corner, a reading nook, and a little table for tea and long chats with friends, that's everything. And that backyard with those huge windows, I'm sure this girl doesn't want to move because she knows it's not easy to find a place this nice. I can already picture her reading her tarot cards week after week, trying to find out when the other girl is finally going to move out. Oh, room dividers. What a foreign yet lovely concept. I mean, I've never had enough space for a folding screen to make sense, but I think they are incredibly decorative. I've seen people using them as headboards or just hang them on the wall as decoration. They are beautiful, and it's fascinating to think about all the different ways people have come up with to create privacy in small spaces. You know, when bathroom wasn't an actual concept, neither personal space. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching until the end, and thanks to the creator of the Shell Challenge for inspiring this idea. It has been an honor and a privilege to have you with me today. Leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought about these characters. Subscribe for more builds and narrative let's play, and I will be back very soon with much more content. Until then, bye bye!